Hello everyone, welcome to CSAT. Hello everyone, welcome to CSAT 2026. My name is Abhilasha and I'll be taking you through some practice questions for English. If you can see me and hear me, just give me a quick yes or no. Also remember to hit like, share and subscribe. So do make sure that you have liked the session and that you have shared it with like-minded individuals, and please subscribe so that you can participate in the chat box. That's so important. Right? Let me get started with today's session. We are doing these sessions so you can practice along with me for all of these lovely questions that we are preparing specially for you for CSAT 2026. So India's demographic dividend means what you will get as a benefit from the demographic, is often spoken of as a major asset for economic growth. So it is a major asset. People talk about it. With a large proportion of its population being young, the country has an opportunity to build a productive workforce. However, experts say that without adequate investment in education, skill development, and healthcare, this dividend, something that we are saying is very positive, could be a problem. A young population without relevant skills and jobs can lead to unrest and economic stagnation rather than growth. Let's look at this question. Why do experts caution that India's demographic dividend might become a liability? Let's understand this from the passage. So we have said that this young population could be very useful, but if they are not educated, skills are not developed, they don't get adequate healthcare, then they might be a problem. So take a look, because education and healthcare have no role in economic growth will be incorrect, because the number of elderly people will soon exceed the number of young people. We don't know, this passage has not spoken of elderly, because a young population automatically slows economic growth. How does it automatically slow economic growth? Incorrect. Because without proper investment in skills and jobs, the youth may not contribute productively, and that's the correct answer. Right? Take a look, this very last line said this also. So that's your correct answer. Let's look at the second question from this set. What do you infer about demographic dividend from the passage? We understand that demographic dividend is the benefit of a young population. So it reduces the need for skill development. How does it reduce the need for skill development? It doesn't. It's an opportunity that requires proper management. Well, yes, you would have to manage everything. You would have to create education, skill, healthcare infrastructure. It guarantees economic growth irrespective of policies. No, the author has not said anything this extreme. It refers only to a rise in population numbers. Again, not that. So best answer here will be option number B. Guys, once I have spoken out the question, you can pause the video, take a look at the passage, and if you want, you can identify the correct answer. Here's the second passage. So the increasing use of digital payments in India has transformed how people transact. Small vendors, cab drivers, and even street hawkers are accepting online payments. So this has reduced the dependence on cash for everyone. This shift has enhanced transparency and reduced certain kinds of petty corruption. And yet, cybersecurity experts are warning that without robust data protection laws and consumer awareness, individuals are vulnerable to fraud and data misuse. So, this may just happen at any point of time. Okay. Take a look at your question. What positive outcome of digital payments is highlighted in the passage? So, some positive outcome is highlighted in the passage. What is it? That transparency has happened and petty corruption has gone down. So it says complete elimination of all frauds, but we did not say all frauds, so therefore not A. Increased reliance on cash transaction. No, we've reduced reliance on cash transactions. Enhanced transparency in transactions. Yes, that is something that we have seen. So this can be my choice. Decrease in internet usage. Again, we have not said that. So best answer here will be option number C. Let's take a look at the fourth question here. What is the main concern raised by cybersecurity experts? So, cybersecurity experts are saying that robust data protection laws and consumer awareness has to happen. Otherwise, individuals are vulnerable to fraud and data misuse. So, digital payments have no impact. This is an extreme option. Eliminate. Users may face risk if data protection is weak. Yes, he has said something like this, so I'll mark it out. Online payment should be stopped immediately. This is an extreme option. He has not given you any extreme option. Small vendors should not use digital mode. He has not given you this also. So best answer here will be option number B. Okay. All right, let's look at the next passage. So this one says that public transport systems are critical to the functioning of large cities. These are very important. Without it, it will be very difficult to function, without for large cities to work also. Now, efficient buses and metro services reduce traffic congestion. So if you have good bus and good metro, traffic congestion is reduced. They save fuel and cut down air pollution, of course. However, many Indian cities face challenges such as overcrowding, poor maintenance, and erratic schedules. So people can't really use the bus services or public transport properly, right? So urban planners are arguing that investment in public transport should be prioritized, should be given a priority so that public transports can be, systems can be worked and can be created. They argue that investment in public transport should be prioritized to ensure sustainable urban development and to improve the quality of life for residents. Okay. Which benefit of public transport is mentioned in the passage? So improved quality of life and sustainable urban development both have been mentioned. Elimination of all other transport modes is not mentioned. Higher fuel consumption, no, we are reducing fuel consumption. Reduction in traffic congestion and pollution, yes. Increase in the number of private vehicles, no. So the best answer here is going to be option number C. All right, let's take a look at the next question. Why do urban planners advocate prioritizing investment in public transport? So why are they saying you must prioritize? Because they're saying that if you want to, get out of these problems, so to reduce the cost of private car ownership, this is not going to happen. To support sustainable development and improve residents' quality of life. See, it was all given here so clearly. So answer has to be B. To encourage migration from rural to urban areas, not really. And to completely replace railways in the country is no. So the best answer here is option number B. Okay. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this session. If you have any doubts or any questions, please feel free to ask me right away. Okay. You can put it in the chat box. All doubts in the chat box. We will handle that as they come along. Also, remember every Tuesday, 7 p.m. is the time that we release our video. So do make sure you are here and do make sure that you are joining in. Okay, we'll keep doing these wonderful RCs as we go along. Thank you so much, guys. Of course, remember to hit like, share, and subscribe so that we can stay connected. Bye-bye.